Listen, I don't want to have kids like ever. Like I don't want to have kids ever. Because like have you guys been outside? It's a nightmare out there. And I don't want to like have children on top. I'm barely surviving on my own. Like I can't imagine. Like if I was my dad, I'd have a 6-year-old here at Beauty Bar right now. And that's not a good idea. The world is a vampire, and I can't imagine trying to bring up a kid. You guys ever been to a grocery store? You've been to grocery stores. You guys ever been to a grocery store? And like you see somebody with a kid, and the kid is like wilding out. They're like freaking out about whatever the fuck kids freak. I want a Power Ranger toy. That's old. That's old. They don't say that anymore. I want a, I don't know, fucking, okay, who cares? Steven Universe, that's a reference that kids get. I can't imagine having a kid at a grocery store who's freaking out because like I am not invested enough in the prospect of being a parent to like keep a kid that's freaking out in public. Like I would be like, okay, we'll get you your Steven Universe toy as soon as I put you on this top shelf in this grocery store that you can't jump off of, and then just leave and never come back. Like that's not how you are a parent, right? And the world is a nightmare. It's really true. The world is so stressful. Like, have you guys ever, like, it's weird to be an anxious person because people don't want to talk to you about it. They get weird about it. People get uncomfortable when you tell them that you're depressed or anxious. But it's like, hey man, like, I didn't ask to be here. Like, we all just are here one day. Do you guys know that nobody consents to being alive? Like, you didn't consent to this. Like, one day you're just here and you have to do it right or people yell at you. And I think that's bullshit. Like, I'm doing this for the first time ever, you know what I mean? It's not fair. Everything's so hard, too. Like, life is very painful. Like, it's not like fun to be alive, you know what I mean? Well, I take that back. Sometimes you have really dope sex, and that's fun. But that's like 5 times in your life and everything else is just a menagerie to all your embarrassments, you know what I mean? It's like, every time you do something wrong and people notice, you're just like, well, I'm gonna add that to the shelf that I look at every time I'm sad, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think about my parents a lot, because like, I'm so mad at them. Like, I'm so mad at them because have you met me? If you've met me, you understand why I'm mad at my parents, because they made me like this. You know what I mean? But I'm realizing now it's not their fault. Like I said, if my dad was 25 when he had me, you know what I mean? Like, I would be 6 now. Or I'd have a 6-year-old now. And that's fucking crazy, because like, it's not like my parents like planned to have kids. I mean, they did. They didn't like, I wasn't like a mistake. Shut up, Angela. That is my best friend. That's my best friend. She's laughing so hard at my existence. It's hilarious. But it's not like they didn't like plan what my life was going to be like, right? Like they just got horny and then they had sex and then they made me, right? Like that's cool. But like when you think about it, statistically speaking, it couldn't have been one of those 5 dope times that they had sex. So they had mediocre sex and made a depressed person. And I think that's just a weird thing to think about. I worry about having kids, because kids are the worst. Have you ever noticed that kids are the worst? Kids are the fucking worst. Kids lie all the time. Like small children just lie to you, they just say random shit all the time.
So do grown men.
And I think, well, sure, so do grown people, that's true. You're right. To look at you, I would not have expected that to be your voice or what you said, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. You're great. You're right, kids lie all the time, so do adults. But kids, like, can you imagine if you had a child and then they lied to you at 4? It's like, bitch, I've been here for your entire existence. You can't lie to me, go to your room. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. I've literally seen everything that's happened to you. I was here and literally watched you poop. For years. Okay, cool. A lot of my friends have kids, and that's weird because they want me to hang out with them, and they think I hate kids. Everybody thinks that I hate kids because I talk so much about hating kids. Okay, no, about not wanting to have kids. But it's not that I hate kids. I really like hanging out with kids. I just don't talk to them like they're kids. Like, I'm just like, I don't care about you any more than the world does, and you need to know that right now. Like, I was like hanging out with my friends' kids, and they were like, I have an Xbox in my house, and we were drinking at a party, and the kids were there, and I was playing a thing. I was watching a thing on TV on my Xbox, and they were like, hey, we want to play this game on your Xbox. So what if we took a vote? It was like 6 kids and me. And they were like, what if we took a vote? And if by majority rule, you have to let us use your Xbox for this video game. And I was like, this is not a democracy. Like, this is my house. I live here and I pay bills. And they're like, yeah. But you're old. And I was like, fuck you, man. Like, you guys gotta go. Get out of my house. I think a lot about like when I was a teenager too, because when I was a kid, I had so much like pent up aggression toward my parents because I felt like I couldn't really talk to them about the things that were bothering me. And I'm realizing now that I was definitely the idiot and they were definitely right, because like I have to pay bills and shit now, and that is hard. And I think about like every argument that I had with my parents always boiled down to like, hey, mom and dad, this is the most important feeling I've ever felt in my life, and you don't even get it. And their arguments always boiled down to, yeah. This is the most important feeling you've ever felt in your life. We hear you, we understand you, but this is also the most important feeling you've ever had in your life, and I have to make you macaroni or you die and I go to jail, so please go to your room, like shut up again. I don't know. So I'm anxious. I'm an anxious person. I'm an anxious person. And I think it's weird that we don't want to talk about anxiety as like a society, because, you know, I just think it's regular. Like, I don't think it's that weird that I'm a super anxious person. But nobody wants to talk about my anxiety or depression. Like, if I talk about it, people get like upset, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry that I haven't found the Netflix show that makes me forget that everyone that I ever loved has walked away from me, okay? Is it Stranger Things? I haven't started that one yet. Is it? No? Okay, upside down? Definitely not gonna make me feel better about lost love? Cool. It's weird, man. I see people thinking about like mental health and stuff like that. I think I'm like more attuned to just like seeing people on the precipice of that shit. Like, I was on the train platform recently, and I saw a woman who was waiting for the train just like everybody else. It was late, it was evening rush hour, and the train didn't stop at our station, it just blew by, it went express. And everybody else did what normal people do, which is look at your phone and grumble. But one woman reacted this way, and I'll never forget it. She stepped to the edge of the train platform and paused there for a long time. And then she turned around and looked at everybody else on the crowded platform, and she said out loud so everybody could hear her, and I will quote her because I'll never forget what she said. She said, and I quote, "No! No!" And then she, so much chocolate on my lips, it's gross. And then she looked and locked eyes and made eye contact with the closest motherfucker to her on the train platform. This motherfucker. And she pointed at the now empty train tracks and she was like, "What?" And I know what she meant. I knew what she meant when she said what. What she meant was, did you see this? This is bullshit. How are you not also reacting to what I just saw? Because what I just saw is the devil himself rising from the tracks. And I was like, cool, got it. And I looked her right in the eyes. And I reacted in the only way that I think it is reasonable to react, which was to laugh as hard as I've ever laughed in my entire life, right into her mouth, like right into her face. And that was so funny. I wasn't laughing to shame her, which is the thing. Like, I wasn't laughing to shame her because, like, I get it, man. We're all just like fucking frayed shoestrings, man. We're all just like, man. They're all just like, I feel like a 70s Vietnam vet. We're all just about to lose it, man. But it's true, we're all like frayed shoestrings. You ever have a shoestring that frays on your shoe? The little plastic nubbin comes off the end, and it starts to like spread out like a flower. That's the worst situation to be in, because you still gotta take that shoe off at some point. So you know that one of the times that you take that shoe off or put that shoe on, you're gonna accidentally pull that shoestring out of the hole. And if you pull that frayed shoestring out of the hole, it's never going back in! You know what I mean? And that's like how I live my life with mental health every day. I'm just like, don't let anybody know you're crazy. So that woman, I got it, you know what I mean? Like, I got it, I wasn't trying to shame her. She let the last piece of masking tape holding together all of her sanity fly away with that train as it went down the tunnel. And I understood, like I saw her in her real form. Like, this wasn't like a homeless person, this wasn't like a person who had an obvious mental health issue or like a drug problem. Just look at it otherwise. Like, she wasn't carrying a bag of her own poop, you know what I mean? Like, she looked like a businesswoman who just broke in that moment, you know what I mean? Like a straw that broke the camel's brain, you know what I'm saying? And so I got it, I understood, I laughed at her because, I laughed in her face because like she let go of everything in that moment. And I really saw her for who she was, and I thought that she was beautiful, and we're engaged now. And why was that a reaction to me saying I was engaged? You know, why are you laughing at my bride to be? Karen is lovely, but she just has some things to work out. Okay, I'm not getting engaged. That's why you're laughing. You're right. Damn, I have to finish this now. I have to finish this now. Now I'm just like waiting for somebody in the crowd to say something funnier than what I've said, so I can drop off of that. Nah, it's weird, man. Like so here's this is true. Okay, listen. All right, shut up. I'm gonna do two things, and then I'm gonna go. This is very self-indulgent, but it is my show, and it is my birthday on Thursday, so we're gonna do this. I do see people like this all the time. I really do, and I like collect these things every time I see it, and it's beautiful every time. One time I was like at my job before I quit it, and I was having a panic attack, as I often did at my job before I quit it. And I walked out, I just walked out in the middle of the day, and I started walking down the street, and I was crossing the street downtown, and I saw a man crossing the other way. And you're gonna think that I'm joking, and this is true. I saw a grown adult human, again, not carrying a backpack of his own poop or anything like that. Just a regular adult-looking human man. Except for one fact about him. In this moment when I saw him, he was dipping his fingers into and eating from, okay, listen, you're not, okay. He was eating a box of Crayola crayons like they were French fries. Like, I'm not kidding, like he was eating like with gusto. He was like fucking smiling while he was doing it, looking around, hoping that someone would like interact with him. And remember, man, like I was going through my own shit. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't like really thought through whether or not I should like talk to a guy eating crayons in public. So it took me a second before I reacted. Like I had already passed him on the street. I got to the corner and I was like, wait, what? And I turned around and he was gone. Like he was straight up not there anymore. And I think about that man every day. Like I think about him all the time. I think about him every day. Like where did he come from? Like where did he go? And it's not a Cotton Eye Joe reference, I know. But like for real, like what was his deal? Like I want to know his This American Life story. You know what I mean? Every day on our show, we choose our themes. Today's theme, the colors of our mouths. Act 1, Crazy Yola, the story of one man who decided to really taste the rainbow. Stay with us. Like that would be a great story. believe it's about fucking. It's about sex. I tell this story a lot because I have sex. That's a thing. People sometimes allow me to do that with them, which is pretty dope. I don't do it if they don't allow me, you know what I mean? Like, feminists. But sometimes I have sex with people, and like, oh God. When I wrote this was true, but now I'm 33 and I feel like I should probably like stop telling people that I'm horrible at sex. Because I've gotten better, I figured it out. I wrote this at 27, just like give me a break. But like I feel like I always have this communication problem with people when it comes to sex. Like I have can you guys tell by everything I've said tonight that I'm not like an aggressive person in the boudoir? Like I'm not like a fuck guy. I'm not like a coxman, you know what I mean? Like that's not my MO. Like I'm not aggressive. Hi, would you like to fuck? No? Okay, cool. Yay! You have a better haircut than I do. Great, perfect. Recently in this bar, I went home with someone, and as we walked out, they were like, you know, this is the first time I've been with a person, a male-identified person in years. I was like, perfect. But it's true, people expect you to, like, can you tell that I'm black? I'm black. I know that sounds weird because you're looking at me, but like if this were a podcast, you weren't sure. I'm black, and like people expect you to like be a certain way in the bed, you know, in the bedroom, people expect you to be a certain way, and I'm like not like that. Like I'm not like, I was, okay, alright, so, okay. Here's what it is, like I'll give you an example. Angela, God! We were roommates for a while, she's heard it all. From her adjoining bedroom. Okay, I was mid-coitus with a lady-type human once, and that's how I say it, so you know how great I am. And she looked up at me, and she said, and I quote, because I was on top, she looked up at me because I was on top, because we were being real kinky, and she looked up at me, and she put on her, like, best sexy whisper, and she was like, so what do you think you're gonna do to me tonight? And I was like, I had my glasses off, because, you know, I don't know. I wasn't wearing them. So I squinted at her in the darkness and I said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, what do you want? And she said, you know what I mean? You know what I want? I got those big, strong black arms. What are you gonna do to me with those big, strong black man arms of yours? And I was like, gender is a construct. No, I didn't say that. But what I did say was, well, I'm gonna take my coat off for effect so you can really understand. I said, well, the first thing I'm gonna do with these arms is point out how wrong you are about the size. They're not that big, like I can't hold you up. That's why I'm on top. Do you not understand? You would fall, like. And the second thing I'm going to point out with these arms is the fact that we are already having sex. Like, we already having sex. Like, what else did you need? Did you want something else? Don't get it twisted. I'm sex positive. I'm kink positive. I'll do whatever you want to do. Like GGG and all that shit. But like, what did you need? Because like I'm already fucking, like we're fucking. And if you need something more, I understand. I understand that like sometimes people aren't like adequate. But you gotta tell me. Or like I can't just like if you want. Okay, because like if you want, you're gonna have to tell me if you want more than in out. Because that's what I got planned for you right now. You gotta, you know what I mean? Like, if you want me to wreck your shit, I will come in like a wrecking ball, Miley, but like, we gotta have a conversation about it. Like, I'm not gonna be like the one who's like, I know what she wants. She wants to get shook. You know, like, that's not me. Like, I can't be like, yeah, I'm gonna show her some new stuff tonight. And I can't. That's not me. I'm not allowed to do that. What if I was? What if I was that type of person who did that, like, instantly transported to jail? You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Even if you like BDSM or choking during sex, I can't be the person you discover it with. Like, that's not, look at me, it's not me. Like, I can't be that person. We're gonna have like a whole conversation about what you've been into on FetLife. And then I'll back 3 steps back from that, and then we gon' fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be a great time. Okay, that's it for me. Who wants to do